going to get into the drum lesson in 1 second, but before we get started, I want to pitch a question to you. What is the last piece of drum gear that you bought? Put it in the comment section below and start a conversation. So there are two things that I love doing when I'm practicing the drum. Thing number one is I love to take simple patterns and come up with something a little bit more complex. We've talked about that before on this channel. Thing number two, I feel like I'm in a Dr. Seuss book, thing one and thing two. Thing number two is I love to take a concept that I'm working on and come up with an exercise that is fun to play, all right? That really keeps me hooked on the drums, and it keeps me hooked on teaching students, is giving them something fun that they can play to learn a concept. So we're gonna do both of these in this particular lesson. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna come up with a simple pattern, all right? So the simple pattern is gonna consist of two different patterns. The first one is going to be kick, kick, left. The second pattern we have is kick, kick, left, left. Now, if you take that first pattern and you loop it 4 times, you come up with 3 beats if you do that with 16th notes. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. So if we're in a measure of 4/4, I'm going to say, all right, well, I want to do a measure of 4/4. So I've got 3 beats of 16th notes taken care of. That leaves me with 4 16th notes left. So I'm going to do a kick, kick, left, left to make that pattern complete. So all together, that sounds like this. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Now that pattern in and of itself is neither hard nor complex nor very fun. All right, so I need to do a little bit to it. Now what happens if I start moving my left hand? So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to play the first left hand here on the snare, second left hand on the floor tom, third left hand the snare, fourth left hand the floor tom, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to play that double on the end of it. I'm going to play that on the high tom. That sounds like this. Now it's starting to get a little bit funner. All right, now I want to make a groove out of this. So if I want to make a groove out of this, I really, in my head, I want to incorporate the right hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on the ride cymbal, and I'm going to play 8th notes on my ride cymbal. If you don't know what the 8th notes are, 16th notes, there's 16 in a measure of 4/4. 8th notes, there's 8 of them in a measure of 4/4. So you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and underneath that we're going to go 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and. Now the hard thing is getting the 16th note pattern going on top of this 8th note pattern. So don't get frustrated with that. It'll take you a few minutes, but once you do, it's going to kind of open up some doors for you. Here's how that sounds. That gives us the basis for our groove. All right. Now, the one thing I always like to do if I've got a groove going on, I got the ride cymbal going on, I always like to put the hi-hat in there. So on this particular one, I'm going to put the hi-hat on the upbeats. Now, you can put the hi-hat on the downbeats. You can put the hi-hat on 8th notes. You can do whatever you'd like to with that, but I'm going to put it on the upbeats. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we put all that together, and this is what it starts to sound like. just fun to play. It loops, it's got this 16th note rolling feel to it. It just is fun to play. And while you're at it, you're working on your 16th note clarity and consistency in your kick drum. You're working on your endurance, so this is going to build your kick drum while you're playing this fun groove. Right? It's going to take you a little bit to get the 8th notes going here, the 16th notes going below that, and the upbeats going here, but stay with it, be patient, and I promise it'll pay off in spades when it comes to your kick drum speed, clarity, and endurance. All right? If you're interested in checking out some of the other lessons, I would love to have you check them out. You can go to the website, stevensdrumshed.com. They're drum lessons anytime, anywhere, on any device that you have, mobile or not. We do live and pre-recorded. So go check that out and work on this exercise.